Hello everyone, my name is Dr. Julio Gonzalez and welcome to the Federalist Pages, where today we're going to talk about the closing argument. Finally, the campaign has come to an end and it is time for us to make our choice, and that would be tomorrow. So really the choice is essentially up to us, and I got to tell you, I don't remember in my lifetime a nastier, uglier, more vitriolic campaign than this cycle has been. As a matter of fact, you could argue that the only two more vitriolic, confrontational, and maybe even important election cycles were the Jefferson-Adams election in 1803 and the Abraham Lincoln election right before the Civil War. This one is just as important because although it does not pit the abolitionists versus the non-abolitionists, it does pit two very contrasting, different views of where our country should be headed. And one of them, believe you me, is essentially socialist. And the other one is a freer view, one that is based on natural laws and natural rights. And that's the choice that we have tomorrow. Let's recap the closing arguments. For Biden, the closing argument is this: COVID, and Trump is a bad man. That's essentially his two major arguments. One, we're going to do better with COVID, he says. We're going to do better with COVID because we're going to close down the country once again. We're going to require, the federal government, mind you, is going to require people to wear masks. We're not going to leave it up to the states. We're not going to leave it up to we the people. We're just going to do it ourselves. And the country and the economy will suffer, but that's what we need to do, says Biden, in order to save you and protect you from this evil, wicked virus that now has a 0.4% mortality rate if you catch it, which is about as bad as influenza. And then, of course, the other argument that he has is anything that's negative about President Trump. On the other hand, you have President Trump's argument. President Trump's argument is a vision of decentralization of power. It's a vision of opportunity. It's a vision of opening up the country and allowing people to come out of their homes and actually venture into new horizons and see what they can accomplish. On the Biden side, he believes that healthcare is a right. It is a right. We should all be able to force other people to perform healthcare upon us because that's the only way that it could be a right. On the Trump side, the argument is that healthcare is something to be exchanged by free peoples that interact freely in the most cost-effective manner. On the Biden side, we're all racists. America is inherently evil. The American people are to be corrected, particularly white people. And as a matter of fact, we're supposed to pay reparations for something we haven't even done. On the Trump side, America is inherently good. It is the beacon on that hill that Reagan so aptly described. It is the example for others to follow. It is the land of opportunity. Not an opportunity, not an equality of outcome like Harris says, but an equality of opportunity. That's the reason why people come here from all over the world. Speaking of people coming here from all over the world, Biden says that we should open up all the doors and let anybody come into our country legally or not. It matters not. And by the way, while they're here, we're going to pay for all the services that they need. President Trump, on the other hand, feels that we should have a strongly protected border. And if we have to have people come in, then we'll do it in an organized fashion and a legal fashion. I don't think that there has been a recent election where there is no room for the middle. Traditionally, we have seen the moderates, people discussing what are the moderates going to do, who's going to track that middle part of the road. There is no room for the moderates here today. You're either going to go for the vision provided to you by President Trump and his allies, based on conservatism, based on natural law, or you're going to go with the vision provided to you by former Vice President Biden, which is one that deals with centralization of power, ultimately leads to socialism, and ultimately leads to despotism. The choice is ours. We have seen the arguments. We have seen the debates. We have seen the crazy things that have developed, ranging from a president who gets sick with a life-threatening illness and in 3 days gets over it, to the revelations of these secretly held pictures and files of the former vice president's son, with all sorts of terrible improprieties that it seems that the media and the former vice president, are trying to hide. The choice is yours, America. The only thing that you must do is make sure you vote and express your opinion tomorrow, November 3rd. And we will see you for the next one.